Sup guys, it's Tello here, and I personally think that the leveling in Mr. Pandalia is absolutely amazing. I think not one single person wants to skip the leveling process. As a matter of fact, they don't even care about the 33% XP, thing that got reverted. They just want to level and enjoy each part of the zone that this beautiful game has to offer and read each piece of dialogue and sucker it in and feel that they are part of this world and connected to Blizzard Entertainment. I truthfully believe nobody wants to just go through dungeons and spam that all day long. They just want to level through the leveling process.
The journey is just the rating progression. That's what the journey is now. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh my god, tell him fucking doing 140k DPS at like level 85.
You just gotta be honest with yourself about whether or not you want that or you want something else. If you want something else, then this may not be the game for you anymore.
I just got three things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
G91 Shark, Fox 5, inbound.
Holy shit!
So in today's video, we're going to talk about something that came up from Cdew. It was an update after, what happened with his previous tweet. And it seems like that he made a post talking about how he feels about his previous comments. And he pretty much said, in plain and simple, listen guys, pretty much hear me out. Maybe completely skipping leveling was a bad take. And I'd still skip it if I could in most re-releases. But if the expansion is only out for half of the time of the original, shouldn't leveling be twice as fast? And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I think this is a much better take. And if he would have led with this before the first original comment, because I think people were basically saying that, oh, if you just would have, skipped the leveling in total, no matter what expansion comes out and just rush to the end game, it totally removes from the immersion of World of Warcraft. And also at the same time, for players who enjoy the leveling process and enjoy doing questing and don't like to always rush the game, because at the end of the day, what a lot of people don't like to admit, and a lot of creators don't like to admit on this platform, it's all about people enjoying themselves at their pacing. It's not about the parsing. It's not about the end game. People want to live with their fantasy and their classes and enjoy their time with it. At the same time, though, we have to also live in the reality of the situation. Most people, at least from what I know, so take this with a grain of salt, most people don't really care about the world of Warcraft anymore. They care about the end game now because they know that the meta of the game is to just get to the end, get your heroics, get your rating, and be involved within the end game tier, and that is it. And then complain that there's no content, because that's what a lot of content creators do. And I'm guilty of this as well. Trust me, I've complained many a times before. But back to the subject that has nothing to do with the conversation here. What I'm saying is, there really isn't much for World of Warcraft when you really look past a lot of things and you really open up your mind and finally accept that, listen, man, as much as I love the journey that once was here in this beautiful game called Classic WoW, a lot of things have changed since Classic WoW. And it's time to, accept the fact that people just really don't care no more. After Classic WoW, after we go into TBC, after we go into Wrath, even, with Cataclysm up to MOP right now, which is the classic era in the timeline that we're in, people don't really give a shit as much anymore. People are spamming the fastest ways possible, finding the most efficient ways to just get to the point of where they want to be, and that is the end game. And I guarantee you, more times out of 10, I'm not going to say a number because I don't want to cause any, debates in the comments of drama saying, well, this guy's saying 9 times out of 10. And even if I did cause some problems, what are you going to do about it? Shoot me. I'll pack your ass up. Much love to you. In Minecraft editor, much love. However, though, what I'm getting at is that most times out of 10, I think the person would prefer to get to level 90 quicker and get some cool gear and be a part of the end game, and then be satisfied and wait for the next patch to come out or maybe do some arena and stuff like that. That's pretty much it. The systems in MOP, and it's no offense to any MOP enjoyers. I personally, for a first-time player going through Mr. Pandaria, I played Remix, I beat the shit out of Remix, and I'm playing MOP now. It was fun. It was enjoyable, and I liked, my time going through the zones. But can I see myself going through regular questing like that again? Over and over and over on other characters when even the devs themselves from Evan's interview said that they want to make this game more alt-friendly. Well, you took away the 33% XP ratios. You reverted it back. So you're not making it alt friendly. And at the same time, nobody wants to sit through all these waves of RPs when there is better games out there that have better storytelling, better RP. And I'm sorry, I'm not to be disrespectful, but I actually agree with Cdew in this take where, to be honest, people just want a faster paced versions of these older expansions. It's not to shit on the journey overall, but let's be real here. The journey for World of Warcraft has been packed up a long time ago. The journey of World of Warcraft, truth be told, which nobody is telling you, existed the minute the first original game came out. After that, it was the expansions you experienced for the first time ever when they were released. The original WoW, the original TBC, the original Wrath. Anything after that was no longer an original journey. Your journey has ended. Now at this point, you are reliving nostalgia based on some fake or false hope that there is still an ongoing journey to be told, when in reality, it's not there anymore, guys. It's gone. So you have to move on from this actual sickness that is in the WoW community, that they feel like that the journey is as important as what people want to get at. And what they want to get at in World of Warcraft, since everything is metafied, everything is on the internet, everything is there for you to know, is they just want to get to the end and play the game that they all know and love. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what WoW is. There is no more, you questing with some buddies, going quest to quest, having fun, and not saying that it doesn't exist, but that journey has long been shotgun in comparison to where the game is at its current state. You look at retail, it's all about just doing mythic keys and getting into your raids. You look at anything with Mr. Pandaria, people are spamming monkey runs and they're doing the Moshagun dungeon. So they can spam get to 90 fast and get prepared for raid and spam your dailies. You even look at versions of World of Warcraft, even in Anniversary and back in the day as well. What did you do? You had mages that boosted you up. They bought runs and got services within dungeons. For TBC, you had slave pens. People were selling boosts through slave pens and mana tubes all the time. Even in Wrath, you had boosts through dungeons as well. So it really goes to show you that people say that they want the journey. They say that they want the questing. But in reality, it shows quite opposite of that. And it's not to shit on anybody that loves it, but I do think the people that went super hard on Cdew, the man doesn't deserve all that. And there was a crazy Reddit thread, we already went over that in the video, where people were just bombarding him with, hey, maybe we should just, get rid of the end game and just, pan out the journey even more. But let me tell you something, with all due respect, Blizzard will not do that. Blizzard has no plans of fixing this so-called exploration RP journey activity that you want so bad in your game. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't exist. The only place that it somewhat exists is retail, where there is current new expansions going on. But that re-journey of going back through World of Warcraft over and over again, and you expecting a different result, is never gonna happen. It's going to be the same outcome, the same gear grind, the same guilds that you find yourselves in when you're having issues with people either being shitters or you being a shitter yourself, or you just not fucking performing over and over and over again, or you being with a guild that's really fucking good and you're a top parser and now you have all the gear and then the game's over and you're wondering where the content is. Over and over and over again. It's going to be the same scenarios that you ran yourself with 1,000 times. And I'm telling you that from experience and just being truthful with you, because other motherfuckers are not going to admit this to you, bro. And I'm letting you know this now, because people are afraid to admit this. They're scared to admit this. And this is just me being 100% real with you, because I'm just so tired of seeing like the facade of people talking about they love the journey, but in reality, in Mr. Pandaria, for example, there really isn't any. And this is from a person who played the game, right? I'm still playing it. I'm leveling up my second character now. And obviously, I'm throwing in some memes of me, doing the monkey runs now on my second tune. That's because I don't want to go through the boring ass quest line that I just did for a whole nother character. Blizzard removed the incentives of the XP buff. They're attacking us as the players when we just want to enjoy the game and have fun with our alts. No offense, Blizzard, but you kind of are. You should have just left in the 33%. And if anything, how about this? If a player gets to 90, why can't they just get a 10% XP buff on their account so their other alts can level up and have a good time as well? You make the game intentionally slow. And this is, listen, I get it. People are going to say, oh, well, the game should be intentionally slow. the questing in itself is not that entertaining. If you find the questing in MoP super entertaining, please compare it to any other MMO with full-on dialogue and actual voice acting and good storytelling like Knights of the Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Online. There are several other MMOs, FF14, that do it better, 10 times better, with all due respect. And I'm just saying, I really think Cdew, the type of response that he did get, I do think in a way it was blown out of proportion, but at the same time, he could have worded himself better. But I don't think that this bubble that we live in, that people are saying that they really love the journey of World of Warcraft, or they really love the adventures that lie await. I don't think that it really exists that much besides in either RP servers or people that genuinely enjoy their time, which I have no hatred to. But in reality, the most of people I've seen in the community just want to get to the end game. They just want to get involved in raiding. They just want to get their heroics. They don't want to feel some slow-paced, forced RP that is put upon them during some quests and scenarios, which suck, by the way, that are placed during your leveling in MoP. That is just boring as fuck. It's just the truth, man. It's no disrespect. But at the end of the day, I still love World of Warcraft. You still love World of Warcraft. I think Cdew loves World of Warcraft as well. He's a high-quality arena player who's played many of years. A lot of people love WoW, and we all have our opinions. And hell, maybe even myself, I could be wrong on this video as well. But the truth has to be said. The journey of World of Warcraft died a long time ago, and people know what the game is. It's a reason a lot of people are moving over to old school RuneScape, because they know that game offers an actual journey. There's many other MMOs that offer an actual journey. WoW doesn't offer that journey anymore. I'm sorry to say that, but it doesn't. It's just endgame and arena simulator at this point. That's just the truth. And I hope more people can learn to accept that and see that reality, rather just living in this falsehood of like naiveness. Like I can't believe how naive so many people are when it comes to World of Warcraft nowadays, especially with MoP, which, to be honest with you, is not really doing that hot at all. They have a plunder of issues and bugs and problems they are trying to address, even issues far back as 2012 with their older patches, where people, even like tailorers, can't even get procs in, which they had to remove and tell people, well, it was only intended for the Throne of Thunder patch, and they didn't ever properly fix that, even though they have all hands on MoP right now. So there's a lot more to be said. I don't want to, go rant on for any longer. All I'm saying is I don't think Cdew deserves a lot of this hate that he's getting on these Reddit threads. I think the man just misspoke, but he does have a better point, and he called out something that has been lingering, and it continues to linger in the WoW community as we speak till this day. And I really just want to call it out, whether people hate on me on this video or not. It's just the truth. And I love questing in games. I love going through exploration in games. I love the journey in games. But personally, this game in World of Warcraft, it doesn't feel like it's like Lord of the Rings, where you're watching Fellowship of the Ring and you love the journey. It just feels like they want to rush all the time to the Return of the King. They just want to rush to the end of the movie. That's what it feels like. This game doesn't even come close to any of that. It just feels like they just want to rush to the end of the film. It doesn't feel like it's an actual journey or Fellowship anymore. And I'm sorry, but that's just the truth. And the only time it really offered that was really classic WoW. And we haven't really had that since. And retail is kind of doing it, but even then, people drop off of retail like flies when they get bored. So it is what it is. Much love to you. Keep on keeping on. I hope you respect this realish video. Sorry if I came off a little hot. Your boy's looking pretty good right now. Settle down. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, bitches.